Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Women Crushing It Wednesday. So I did that. Thank you. Thank you to Ring Gang TV and Ring Gang Radio. They did a great cartoon of me, and they added that kiss, so I had to do it too. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you so much for joining me and my girl, Nika. Girl, what's going on? How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. It's Wednesday. It's always, the middle of the week. So that means the end of the week is near and 3-day weekend for me.
Yep. Right in the middle. Hump day. Just a few more days to the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. That's good. Girl, let me tell you, there's just been some things going on before we get into the show, before our guests come on Twitter. Hello, G Funky, Dana, Crystal, everybody that's tuning in. Thank y'all so much. But yes, Twitter, as Nika would say, Twitter. It's been going crazy.
It's always going crazy though. And that's why people think I'm a mad woman now, because I'm always on there getting into it with people. But I've been kind of chill this week. So.
No, you've been good. You've been really, really good.
That's bad. That's bad when we have to
Sean,
say that.
Thank you. Here from YB's channel. Thank you. He's going to be on shortly in the next 5 minutes. So I appreciate you tuning in. He's a great guy. We're going to have a great show tonight. We have a great lineup, some great subjects. But right now, we are talking about Twitter. And Twitter has been going crazy because they cannot get off of the blame game for the Spence Crawford fight not happening. And at the end of the show, we're going to play a video and we're going to discuss it. But you know what? To me, it's like y'all are beating a dead horse.
Yeah, that's why I think I've been less active on Twitter, because it's getting I'm tired of it already. Like the back and forth of because then people do not keep a boxing on there at all. They doing all personal jabs, and it's if I get into it again, it's not gonna be pretty. So it's mind your business, mind your fucking business, let it go. And look, you see HLD's I'm proud of Nika. See, that's bad when you have to say that means I'm usually bad.
Oh, so look, we got young Bill about to come on. Young Bill, how are you? Welcome.
How are y'all?
We're doing well. We already have one of your guys, Sean, from your channel joining us tonight. So thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it so much.
Hey, Sean gonna support forever now. You know what I mean? Cause he.
Okay, Sean. We like that. We definitely like that.
We love him.
Before you came on, and before we get into the carne, as we say, of the show, we were talking about Twitter being a little crazy, but you're not on Twitter. And I told you stay off of it because you don't need the stress. You don't want the stress.
See, the thing is, I don't want to be like Mike Tyson over there. Yeah, like my girl Mike Tyson, 80-something. She be having beef with everybody.
But you see my beef on YouTube then, because you don't even have Twitter, so you see it on YouTube.
But this the thing though. This the thing. You tell me about your beef though, Nike. So you told me about Sulim.
When I was
I got a good memory. I got a good memory. So when
how long ago was I on your channel? Because I was just telling Christine that your channel grew so quick, because I was on it I don't even know how many months ago, but you went to 5,000 followers.
You were on in maybe April or May.
Okay, around my birthday. So yeah. Awesome. And it grew so quick, so I'm proud of I'm happy for you.
Who told me about your show was Nancy. Nancy said you got to watch this guy. He's got a great. She said this kid, but I mean, of course you're a kid to us, but to Nancy and I. But
and me.
And I watched and I was like, oh wow, okay, he really knows what he's talking about. So I really enjoyed it thoroughly. So I can see why you've blown up so quickly, because you know what you're talking about. And then Nika just tells me right now you're from Texas. What part of Texas?
Houston.
Houston, the concrete jungle. Okay, I'm not mad at you. I mean,
Nah,
Dallas is better, but we good. It's okay.
I want to come. Look, I want to come visit your gym in Dallas. I want to once.
Absolutely.
But this the thing. People don't know that because of you, you know, and Nika. Like Nika brought me so much traffic because she, you know, to help me. She put it out on Twitter when she came on the show, and you know, she put it on IG. And Nike has a reputation for being very controversial. And
No.
hey, Christine, see, me and Nike met when we agreed on Bud Crawford. And she probably think I'm a
you know
traitor.
what? You switched out. You switched. You did because
She
you
probably
were.
think,
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
okay
wait.
though. No,
He
no,
was
we're
on
gonna
the
get to
bus
that
side.
later.
He
We're
was.
definitely gonna get to that later. Find out what's going
hey,
on.
hey, she told me, look, and Bud is still, I still think Bud could beat EJ. Don't get it twisted. I just watched film and then I started seeing, I was like, man, I think Arrow gonna win because of the work rate. You know, so I thought he was gonna win because of the work rate. Like my boy
No, but
HSB.
I remember because I think I hopped on this guy's channel, Mr. ITVOA, like at 3:00 in the morning one night, and you guys were like debating about it, and I hopped on.
Yeah.
And at that time, young
I
Bill
was crazy
was
about Bud.
a Bud fan, so we kind of
I'm
like
still a
clicked
Bud
it.
fan, but I don't like the way he moving. You know, even though my boy a drunk, even though my boy a drunk, hey,
You know
even though
what?
my man, look, I'm
You
riding with
said
Texas.
that. You said that.
Yeah.
Look, even though my man is drunk, I seen him. Look, like I told Christine off air, I seen him at the hotel. He was in July. Because I wanted to take a, you know, I seen him at the hotel. I mean, at the hotel upstairs. And so I wanted to take a picture with him, but I was like, if I put him out like that,
It's gonna look like you were being messy.
Yeah, look
like,
like I was trying to,
yeah.
you know,
If you put him
put
out
bad
like
energy out there.
his
Yeah,
baby mama
like being
did,
messy,
but we're gonna talk
like
about that too.
kind of
But
how his girl did, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
who need enemies if that's what type of people you got around?
That's
But you
true.
know what?
Thank
Okay,
you.
so I'm glad you brought that up because I have a question for you because I don't know, do you follow the Facebook groups on the boxing groups on Facebook? Okay. See, on there's a lot of back and forth about that video and his girl putting it out. So there's a lot of people saying that it's a fake video. It was like a skit that they were doing to win a trip to Dubai. And then other people are just like, no, you can tell that he was really slizzard in that video. But what do you think? Do you think that it was like, but it's usually the Spence fans on the boxing groups that say, "Oh no, that was a skit. You know, they
I
were
told Christine
acting."
that it was a TikTok because that's what I heard, but I didn't see it till today. But off air, I ain't gonna say too much. But off air, he looked like how he was in July. When I seen him, he was he was effed up. He was effed up.
And that was one of the topics for tonight was.
But that's not the first time I heard that neither. That's not the first time I've heard that. I just don't repeat it because then people are gonna say, "Oh, Nike's expensive." So I don't say, but that's not the first time I heard that he's been seen still drinking. So
he still he was drinking at the you know at the Virgil fight that he was at. You know, like the scenes in Dallas. She knows what's up. Like she knows all them type of fighters. And she don't.
Yeah, no, and I'm pretty sure she's heard it or seen it herself too, but she don't repeat it either because then people are gonna say, "Oh, she's saying that because she's a Bud fan and this and that." So
she is kind of she is kind of trading on Texas, but I'll let her ride on that, you know. Because Bud said Charlo and Spence ain't from Texas. That's what Bud said. That's what made me mad at him. Real talk between me and y'all. I felt like he was a little jealous of it. I feel like Bo Mack and them are kind of like. They don't like that the Texas fan base or the Dallas Cowboys. They don't like that Errol Spence gets a lot of love from that fan base. And you know, and there's no offense. It's just like Omaha's a smaller place, but Bud gets his support too. It's just a smaller. It's just you know where Bud is from and where Errol's from, just two different places. But it's not that Bud doesn't get his support because Bud has his diehard supporters too. It's just Errol Spence.
For sure.
You know, it's just so Errol Spence happened to hook up with Gary and all them, but. I feel like Bud is kind of. I feel like the way Bud talks, I feel like he don't feel like Errol should be getting the love that he gets because he hasn't accomplished the things that Bud has accomplished, and that's kind of what I feel on the low.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like Bud is like, how you compare this dude to me? He only a one division champ. That's how I feel Bud is like. on the inside.
Well, and it's
what?
like, think about it. I mean, would you not feel the same way? Like, really? I mean, you've earned your belts. You've gotten to where you want to be. Except that's just the
Yeah.
one belt that you need, or that you want, or don't want, because you've had the belts before in the other weight class. But I mean, does he not have a right to feel that way? Do you think?
I think he does. I think in his mind, I think when the money he was asking PBC for, I feel like in his mind is justified, because he's like, you willing to give Canelo this much? You're willing. I'm a better fighter. Like Bud feels like this guy took L's. I'm a better fighter. I was undisputed. I did what Canelo did too. I was undisputed first. I'm a multi-division champion. I'm undefeated. I knocked everybody out at welterweight. Why am I not getting compensated that way as a pound for pound number one? That's what he's looking at. So I can understand why Bud is feeling the way he feels. You get what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. No, I would feel the same way. I mean, I would, and I love them both. I've seen EJ since he was 15 when he first started boxing. He used to fight with my son, and I was at Viviro gym, and he'd be there, and we'd spar, and he'd spar my other guys. I love him. Like, I love him. His pops was always there. He's a great guy, and but I love Bud too. I know his team and his people, and they've always showed me love. This is the question that I have. So there's so many people around these guys today. Well, around EJ, that to me they seem to be leeches, and instead of them taking video, whoever took the video, it looks like baby mama did, instead of taking videos, why are you not talking to your man and saying, you have a problem, obviously, still, and we need to get some help? See, that's the problem to me. What are your thoughts on that?
The question, the thing is, I feel like people be like, well, it's not affecting him in the ring. And I'm picking him to win. And he did look good against Ugas, but one of the reasons he had a layoff was because of the issues outside the ring, the drinking. You know what I mean? When he wrecked his car, he was intoxicated. So of course I felt like he's been needing help, between me and y'all. I felt like he's been needing help. And when I saw him in July for myself, because I'm new, I was like, oh man, I was hoping that was a life-changing experience and he wouldn't be drinking the same way. But I saw firsthand, personally, I said, oh man, this is not encouraging. To be so close to a Bud Crawford fight and you were drinking, and this guy is, training year round like Bud does.
And we know he doesn't drink, smoke, nothing.
No. So yeah, that's why you told me off air, like that's why if you a betting woman, your money's on him. I understand.
Absolutely. Because I do know that the things that you do outside of the gym, they do affect you when you get in the ring. I mean, it's just a fact. It may not immediately, but eventually it catches up with you, and then the more you get away with it and the more success you have, the more you think, oh, well, I had to stop 8 weeks ago, but now I'm just going to stop 6 weeks. Oh, you know what? I'm good at 6 weeks. Stop. I'm going to wait till 4 weeks out, before my fight. And then I'm going to stop. And then all of a sudden it's like, you're not that king anymore because you let the alcohol or whatever it is get the best of you. It's not good to be able to get away with stuff.
Is my internet choppy today? What the fuck's going on?
You're freezing a little bit.
Can you see? I'm freezing. Yeah.
Yeah, you're frozen right now.
But I was gonna say, like, even though we all have these honest opinions and stuff on these things of the information that we have gotten, and we're still gonna be called haters because nobody by Spence fans because nobody wants to hear that from that side.
Hey,
just being honest.
Right.
But look, this is the thing.
Be prepared to take some flack, young Bill, because you're from Texas, and if they hear you talking like this, they're gonna be upset with you.
But this the thing, though, Nike. This the thing. I know what I know, and like Christine said, it is what it is. I don't feel like it affects his performance. As long as I feel like Spence can perform in the ring, I pick him to beat Bud. Like I stand on that. I feel like things that Spence can do in there, as far as his work rate, his conditioning, his chin, his ability, his body punching. I feel like he's a natural southpaw. He's a big, strong dude. I feel like when he locks in and focuses in training, he's a monster. And I still I told Christine, I still think that video wasn't necessarily real. She told me to watch it, but I don't think that. I thought it was a TikTok. I really did. People kept telling me it was a TikTok, but I don't want to be crazy and defend it to where people like, oh, YB, you just take up for Spence for everything. So I have to be honest. Now, what Spence does outside of in his personal life when he's not preparing for a fight, I don't care. You get what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, for sure.
So when I'm evaluating fighters, I'm like, yeah, Spence is still that guy. And for him to have those issues that people talk about outside the ring, I feel like he's handled every fight that he's had pretty easily. I mean, besides the Porter fight, you could see a little something there that he probably wasn't right. But other than that, with Danny, Mikey, Ugas, I feel like whatever Spence does, he does it well and he executes and he always comes in shape. So that's how I feel about his drink.
So, but I got a question for you because when did this change for you? Because at one point you were saying that
I thought Bud was going to
how
be
you
it.
speaking about Bud. So I want to know when did this change for you?
I feel like the jab. So look, when Bud Crawford, even though he switches a lot, I feel like the thing with Bud is that I feel like the foot speed of Bud is still there, but I feel like he's a little bit more flat-footed at welterweight than he was at 40 and 35, and I think that's due to attrition. I think that's due to him being 35 now. And so I think that him slowing down just enough and Spence still being that guy. I feel like the body shots, I feel like the great jab. I feel like Spence has, between the two, I feel like Spence has a better jab. I feel like he can establish himself better. And that's why I kind of roll with Spence on that, because I just think that Spence is going to be to chop the ring off. And I feel like Bud Crawford is such a macho dude. And I feel like Bud Crawford loves to fight. And I feel like with Spence, he can get, and I feel like Bud Crawford hears the noise. So when you got a guy like that, I feel like Bud Crawford will get into it with him in that aspect.
But so that's a new revelation for you?
Just watching film. Just going back watching film, Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Just,
all right. I'm just
I see you on the
asking.
Mike Tyson right now.
I remember a whole nother.
You trying to come with thing. Yeah. I know. Hey, you ain't about to IoT. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you like, oh, so when did the last time that you did this? Hold on. Yeah, I see what you trying to do. You trying to stir the gumbo.
I want to see it because I feel like at the time too, he was the same way. He was rooting for Bud at that time. So then he's back. Now he's back on Spence thing. So I wonder if it was something that both of you had come to a new revelation. Now you guys are back on the Spence train.
Right.
That's why I asked.
Oh no, it's just the Spence train. It's like Spence is it's always been a scary fight for me. What's up, Boxiana? It's always been a scary fight for me with Bud and Spence, because even when I thought Bud could win, I knew Spence being the bigger guy, being a natural welterweight. This dude fought at 52 in the amateur.
For sure. Yeah.
Like Christine knows, this dude handles his business in sparring with any and everybody. Sure. And once talking to Coach Ronnie and knowing Jamel, I mean, like, Jamel's out in Houston, knowing people that have talked to me about what happened with Jamel and Spence in sparring, like knowing those details, and Jamel can punch. You get what I mean? And Spence being able to go 17, 18 rounds with this guy, that guy, cruiserweights. Spence is a dog in there. It's not just that, and Bud is a dog too. I just think that I feel like I trust Derrick James as a coach a little bit too. I feel like people overlook the corner. I feel like Bud has great trainers, but people don't. I feel like Derrick James making adjustments like he did with Charlo in the Castaño rematch, I feel like that's going to come into play in this fight. And I feel like Spence is a little bit more composed than Bud in there. I feel like Bud loses his cool more than EJ does. I feel like the mental component, Errol Spence is more calm, cool, and collected than Bud in there. I feel like Bud can get sped up, can get rushed, and Bud can get drawn into a firefight quicker than EJ can. And that's what I feel.
I will agree that when Bud feels like he was touched really well, he turns into a different animal and he does attack. That's what I see.
That reminds me of, like, when your siblings, like, well, this is how I was with my younger sister. Like, I know that I could beat her ass. So when she would like piss me off, I wouldn't do anything to her. But then she'd come and like want to fight me, and then she'd be like tapping me, and I'd be like, go on now, until I really felt her hit me one good time. Then I felt that shit. I say, all right, now, bitch, now I gotta beat your ass. That's how I used to beat my sister's ass when I used to feel that one good punch that used to sting. Then I used to lay off on her. So that's what I feel like. That's probably what Christine is trying to explain. Like
it is. But you know the thing that they both have in common. I will say they both have this in common. If you watch their fights, the first 3 rounds, they're kind of feeling out their opponent.
Absolutely.
And then they figure it out. Both of them. They both do that. Then they figure it out. They adjust, and they do what they got to do. Like Mayweather did. He used to do. I don't know. I don't even watch him anymore. But when he did, when I did watch it, you know, when he wasn't fighting, you know, whoever he's fighting today. But that's what they do. They have that in common.
Yeah.
You know?
So this fight would be like who can figure it out the quickest then. Like
exactly.
Exactly. Because I don't know if y'all think Deep Style, I agree. He did struggle with Porter. But it wasn't because and the thing with Porter's so awkward though. I feel like people look at that fight, but Bud doesn't fight nothing like Porter. Like Christine would tell you, Styles make fights to the point where you're not going to see Bud jump in doing like crazy lateral movement like a football player and walk into him with crazy low head movement. And Bud has longer arms than Porter, so Bud doesn't have to work his way on the inside like Porter had to do. So it's just a lot of different things in there that Porter did or tried to apply that Bud wouldn't have to or feel the need to. And so I feel like Bud is a mid-range, long-range type of guy where he's a sniper. Bud wants to see you catch a mistake and strike. And that's something that
he sees him. And the great thing, and I mean nothing against, you know, Derek, but the great thing to me with that Bud has is he has 3 trainers that none of them have the big heads. They're all in there equally for one purpose, and that's for their guys to win. And they all add different aspects. So those are 3 different sets of eyes. They see stuff that not just one trainer is going to see, in my opinion. The way they work together in unison, it's a symphony. And to me, that's a beautiful thing. You don't find that because a lot of times you get the egos and all this, and they don't have that at all.
You know, like you said, working selflessly, working in unison. But I feel like Derek, James, and Spence have that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They've been doing it, and whatever works for them, you know. Just like Bud, you know, like his training. Like I remember hearing during fights, Bomac would be like, "I don't tell Bud nothing to do strategically because sometimes Bud will, sometimes he will, but sometimes he'll tell Bud to just, because Bud is such an instinctual fighter that he'll adapt to whatever he sees fit. So like you said, Christine, if Bud is in trouble, he'll start to dissect what's going on and make his adjustments mid round, mid fight, and that's something that you can't teach. That's what makes Bud so dangerous.
No, you can't teach. And not only is he great in the ring, like I've heard him, you know, when his guys are sparring, I've heard him work the corner. The advice he gives is just like, I mean, whenever he's done, you know, whatever he decides to be done, he is going to be a fabulous trainer because he sees stuff that a lot of people don't see. Even some of the top trainers out there, they don't see. He is so smart and so technical.
So, you know, in the chat, I knew that Boxiana and Steven were going to be in here and be Spence's lawyer. Boxiana says Spence wasn't Spence either when he fought Sean. And then Steven kind of co-signed and piggybacked on that and said that wasn't the same Spence that fought Porter. Didn't even have the same conditioning as
there you go. There you go,
Peterson.
There you go,
Boxiana. Spence Porter and still got the win.
But you know, the thing is we do not as boxing fans want to hear the excuses. Oh, well, my thumb hurt. Oh, well, my foot, you lost. You lost or you won. You look good or you didn't. The excuses, nobody wants to hear the excuses because everybody's going to have an excuse. You cannot go through a training camp, sparring and working out the way you are, preparing for somebody and not have some sort of injury or have some sort of something. You just have to be 100% fight day. That's it. So the excuses or the same, it doesn't matter. It is what it is.
You know what? You know what, Christine? Like Spence told Bud, he's saving the yak for after he whooped his butt. That's what he told him. He's saving the yak for you. After Bud was
I don't
like,
think he's saving the yak. I think he's sipping the yak. But I'm just saying.
no. In training camp, he don't sip the yak. No yak. No alcohol, no nothing. That video was fake. I'm gonna go on record and say that was a TikTok. I'm gonna go on the record and say that was a TikTok.
You know what? I hope you're right. But let me tell you something though. So in my experience of him and even his fans who've seen him on his Twitter and his everything, all his social media outlets, is he a jokester? Does he joke around? Would he put himself in that situation? No. No. And I'll go on record saying that. No.
But you known him since he was 15, so I can't argue. I'm gonna just say.
Well, they're gonna call you a hater, Christine. Just
I love him.
Hey,
I love him.
It was a TikTok.
I do. I love him.
But that's in her. She said, and that's in her opinion, you guys. Like,
but yeah,
she knows of him personally.
I'm just saying. But all you have to do is go on all of his social media outlets and see where he's doing skits or being funny or doing something like that. You're not gonna find it because he doesn't do that. He's always serious.
Well, maybe his girl brings that side out of him. You know, like
and that's
some
why
guys are comfortable.
That's why it was on her stuff and not his.
Yeah, like, you know, some girls they love to do TikToks and stuff like that. So they were like, "Come on, babe," you know, and they drag me man into doing something. So
yeah, maybe.
You know, that could be her thing.
Maybe if you're you know feeling a little good and you know you whatever, yeah, you're gonna be more you know apt to do something that your significant other wants you to do. You're not lying about that.
But
I do think it was like in poor taste to release it, knowing the background that he has in the media.
Right.
And look what it has everybody doing. Like
protect your man.
You know,
protect
like
your man.
I feel like it should have been more thought
around your man. He's your
I feel like it should have been more.
Protect him.
Yeah, I feel like it should have been more thought into it.
That's your livelihood.
Yeah, it should have been more thought into it because of what people would do and take it and run with it. But I do think it was a skit because I did hear him laughing when I heard it. I did hear him laughing at the end. But people gonna call me an Errol Spence protector, so I'm just gonna. And I don't want no smoke tonight.
Okay. So and then we're gonna move on because we got some other stuff. But
okay.
Micah, you have a video courtesy of The Boxing Talk, and can you play that?
Oh yes, yeah.
And thank y'all.
So this is
Boxing
for
Talk.
what do you have to say when you place a little clip of somebody's video and shit?
Okay, we gotta.
This is for
educational purposes.
Educational purposes.
Educational purposes.
Don't strike us. Fair use, and this video. Okay. That's what you gotta say. Fair use.
Yes.
So I had it pulled up, but I had to restart my computer because my internet was acting funky. So
exactly, Rachel. Exactly. No, we know that we wouldn't. No, hell no.
So that's Nonito's way, right? So they don't never have. You guys don't never have like, you know, playtime and you like.
I know she would not put that out there. Even
well, no, maybe not put it out there, but it's something that they would do together for like, you know. Personal.
Like if I'm an Errol protector, she's a butt protector, and Nito is too. Happy birthday to him, by the way.
I knew that I love her
happy birthday.
Because she is very feisty and she reminds me of myself.
she you know what? I'm gonna order her a case of Bud Light because that's what she drink. She drinking the Bud Kool-Aid, the Bud Wild, the Bud Light, and that's for you guys too. I'm gonna meet you in person. I'm going to Dallas. I'll see you in person.
Come on.
She is very feisty.
I'm here until January 8th. Come on.
Let's see. Damn, I had the shit pulled on.
What's the clip about though? Don't blindside me.
It's like I guess Rick Glazier said something.
Oh man.
Yes. Hold on now. All right.
Oh man, this guy.
Pull the video up.
All right, let me go on mute. As my Baltimore people would say, let me go on mute.
Mute.
Let me go on mute.
Mute. All right, fair use
did the deal for a percentage. He didn't want to show him the books. He didn't want to have any transparency on the expenses, on the profits, the revenues, the profits, and he's not going to do business that way. And I don't blame him. He's not wrong. Everybody else gets guarantees from Heyman, and except this guy. It was wrong, and he didn't want to fight. Spence wanted to fight. Crawford wanted to fight. As Heyman was the one that was the fight block. You know, as I've called him, boxing's greatest obstructionist. That's what he is. Stops great fights from happening. He's done it. He's done it ever since he's been at PBC for 7 years. He's done it, and he even did it a little when his fighters were promoted by Golden Boy. But it's gotten really bad in recent years, and it's just out of control. I sympathize with both Crawford and Spence. Spence because he's straddled with a situation where his advisor's got a conflict of interest, basically running the company that promotes him. He's also advising the guy, and Al didn't want to fight. It's all Heyman's fault. Spence went and did the deal for a percentage. He didn't want to show him the books. He didn't want to have any transparency on the expenses, on the profits, the revenues, the profits. And
okay, I think it started. But before we start talking about this, I want to know why the fuck they had. Wait, how can I move this screen? Okay, why was
based off the audio? Based off the audio.
It's kind of out of your control here because I think that Spence has to deal with a number.
I was just gonna say, why was Rick Glazier laying in his bed like that? Like, I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
He like half dead, laying in bed doing this interview, but okay. Oh wait, are you muted? I think you muted. You mute.
Christine, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
I don't usually agree with Rick, but he made my. I mean, I blocked him on Twitter. I did. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
But you know what? Like, he made me think. Like, if you think back, like, how often do these PBC fighters fight? Like how often? And what is it? Like, why does he not allow that? Is he busy doing something else? Is he afraid of the old disappearing? Like what is it? Like this video really made me think. It really did. What did y'all think about the video?
My bad. I didn't really hear the crap that was coming. I feel like
the crap.
I just feel like Rick Glazier has a personal issue with Al. I really do. I do. I think that Big Ricky, I think he has a problem with him, and you know he does. Like I heard it was real personal. You know, and every time he speaks on him, it's hard to take anything that he says seriously. Now that I heard that he's with BLK Prime, did y'all know that he's a matchmaker for BLK Prime?
I did hear that.
Who?
Rick Glazier.
I think he's an advisor.
An advisor for BLK Prime. It's kind of a conflict of interest.
Goodbye. Good fucking bye.
So why wouldn't he take her for the move that Bud Crawford just made if he's working with that company and getting paid by that company right now?
When did this information come out that he's like a matchmaker for?
He's an advisor. I saw it on Twitter. Actually, I saw it on Twitter probably like a week ago.
But you know, not for nothing, he's always rode for Bud before this little video. He's always rode for Bud. Yeah, and I think I do think it's because he does have a personal vendetta against Al Heyman, so he's not gonna go with that side. But to be honest, I don't listen to anything that comes out that man's mouth. Yeah, he's a crook. I mean, if you know his backstory, he has a lot of personal vendettas with people, like, you know. So,
like I said, I blocked him on Twitter. I'm not a fan, but that video just made me think. And then you start thinking, like, how often are the PBC guys fighting? Like, what's going on over there? Like, and so I do feel sorry for EJ. Like, let's say, you know, first of all, when people get on their platforms talking about so-and-so scared of so-and-so. First of all, these guys are boxers. They're not scared of anybody or anything. They're going to get in there and do what they're supposed to do. That's what they're built to do. That's what they train to do. So there's no fear. It's not even about being scared. It's about the promoters making the deals that make sense for them to get paid to do what they need to do. So when people talk about, oh, Bud's scared, EJ scared, bullshit. Like, nobody's scared of nobody. But the money's got to make sense.
Yeah, it got to be life-changing money, you know. And this is the thing though with Rick Glazer. They asking me, is that true? Yeah, it really is. He does have a role.
Yeah, it is true. It is true.
With BLK Prime, he has some type of role with them. So Boxiana, to answer the question, yes, he does. I don't know exactly the role. I think it was matchmaker or advisor or something, but he's definitely.
I think he's an advisor. That's what I saw. Okay. He was an advisor.
I'm still stuck on the way he was doing that interview, laying in the bed like that. He probably was butt ass naked. He was probably butt ass naked, laying in that bed. The camera was from like right here to here.
Laying in the bed with turkey neck.
Laying in the bed talking about how he can't stand Al Heyman, butt ass naked in his bed. Like I can't take him serious. I'm sorry. At least sit up when you're talking shit.
Like, he's like, at my age, I don't care. I would do interview.
That's how they
you dropping bombs and talking shit like that. You need to sit up. You need to sit up and you know. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about how Al Heyman is not be laid out in the bed half dead like that. I don't know why they have him.
Ray K also used car salesman. He didn't say that.
No, he was. Well, he used to sell cars where he used to turn back the.
Oh my!
Yeah, so I think he was arrested for that. He was arrested for that.
I used to turn back the odometer out in Buffalo.
That's funny.
He always talks about it, yeah, because people always bring it up. So he's honest about it. I mean, it's not because people can look up the information, so it's not like he can lie about it. So,
yeah. I'm with it. So you know what? So last weekend we're gonna move on because last weekend Top Rank had a great card in my opinion. Like it really did. Like I'm gonna give a shout out to Charlie Sheehy and Javi Martinez. They were on the undercard. They did a great job. They were both on Team USA. Javi Martinez, that's the best I've ever seen him look. Since he's been pro, he looked fabulous. But the main event. Well, I want to talk about I want to talk about Sinisa after the main event because I felt like that was a badass fight, and she's badass anyway. So Janabek and Bentley. So the thing that really got my attention was that I believe that it was Bernardo saying when Janabek started that he was no longer the boogeyman, but then by the end of the fight, he was like, "Oh, here comes the boogeyman." Why, in y'all's opinion, were people saying that he's no longer the boogeyman? What do you think about that, YB? You're a guest. You go first.
Well, when they put these boogeyman labels, and especially guys from like Kazakhstan, it just so happens that he's from that same region as Triple G. So when Triple G came over, when he first made his debut on HBO, they built him to this boogeyman guy because he was knocking everybody out. And I guess because Bentley was looked at as a wide underdog, they expected him to get Bentley out of there. And they saw how timid in the first couple rounds, they took it as he was being scared. I took it as he was trying to see and like very cautious and see if he could take the guy's shot, take his power and see what's going on from there. But I guess because of the comparisons to Triple G, and when you say boogeyman, you know how they had that, when they used to call people boogeyman, they were like Kovalev, Triple G, those type of guys. You're knocking people out first round, ending people's career. Like Better Beef, like they consider him a boogeyman.
Beef,
And so you see how he's been moved as a pro, even in championship fights, nobody has went the distance with him. So I think they're like, he's no longer the boogeyman because now Denzel Bentley was able to push him back at times, and he was underdog. And once Johnny Beck gave him some confidence and Denzel Bentley started seeing that he could take his shots and putting punches together, you started to see Johnny Beck look pretty ordinary. So I think that's why they said that. I don't know. That's my opinion on it. I felt like Johnny Beck won the fight, but he wasn't spectacular.
Okay. And all right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. What did you think, Nika? What did you think about the fight?
To be honest, I didn't watch the main event. I just watched up to Sinisa. So, but I can kind of chime in on the boogeyman talk because I don't know who actually came up with this phrase for boxers being the boogeyman of something, and then when you feel like you're gonna take it back. Like, what were the criteria and checkoff boxes to call somebody the boogeyman? Because to be honest, it's really annoying because that's people's go-to when they're like, oh, he's not the boogeyman now, So then you have to live up to this expectation to like knock people out all the time, to be the boogeyman. And that's not always gonna be the case. Like, you don't always
and
win
people got to
boxing.
stand in front of you for you to knock them out.
Yeah, exactly. You're not always gonna get a knockout in boxing. That's not the only way boxing works. Like, you know, so
right.
I don't even know where this boogeyman phrase came from.
Comes from no, but before I
the boogeyman, I hate the phrases boogeyman. I hate the ducked. Sources. I hate sources and all of those. Like, you know, it can boxing can get rid of those.
Well, Bud Crawford and Spence can't use boogeyman in, because I heard Bud Crawford, they call him the boogeyman.
Yeah, but who gave him the? That's why I was like, I don't.
He didn't give it to himself.
Yeah, but I don't call him boogeyman. I don't call any boxers boogeyman. So so you know, even though
I was kind of like calling Usyk the boogeyman, because he's scary. He looks scary.
You think Usyk's the boogeyman?
He looks like a boogeyman.
With them eyes, huh? He be like this.
That's what I'm saying. He looks like a boogeyman. Like he's about to go in there and murder you. Like he has no soul, and like he's gonna take your soul. Yeah. But so before I answer what my answer is, I just want to ask y'all this, because to me this is a big thing in boxing. So do y'all believe that the commentators persuade the fans on which way the fight is going? Nika, what do you think?
Sometimes I
commentate.
Yeah, sometimes I do think that, because you can tell sometimes when the commentators are very biased, and you would swear one of the fighters is actually not even throwing punches at all, the way they're like dick riding the other opponent, you know, boxer. So like, I think sometimes real fans, they get annoyed with that and they turn the volume down when they're watching the fights, because you can get swayed by the commentators. But hopefully the judges don't listen into the commentators.
Well, they
make enough mistakes by themselves.
The judges can't hear, and the people in the crowd can't hear, but the people at home obviously can hear, and that's when all the like back and forth goes. And I'm just wondering, like, how much of people's opinion is persuaded by commentators.
I think real fans, the ones who really know boxing, they don't really even pay attention to the commentating if it's going that way, and if they are, it annoys it. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter always say, I had to cut the commentators down. They don't even know what they're talking about. You know, they're biased. So yeah, maybe like the casuals. Yeah, just like this guy. Yeah, the casual fans. Yeah, if they don't really know boxing or just got into it, they're gonna get swayed by the commentators for sure.
Okay. What do you think?
I feel like
swayed by the commentators.
I feel like casuals and boxing fans sometimes can be swayed, because if somebody's telling you, and you consistently hear somebody saying, "Oh man, that person's in control. He looks in control." Even if you're, strong-minded enough to sometimes, understand what you're seeing, you might start getting swayed every now. In the course of a 12-round fight, you might give that other fighter a swing round if a commentator is over the top with their their adoration for what that person was doing in that round. Like, oh man, he landed the bigger, harder shots in that round.
But I think that goes more for like, if you're rooting for that person, because if you're rooting for, let's say Bud and Spencer's fighting, and like a Bud fan is listening to the commentators being biased, they're gonna be like, you see, that's what I'm talking about.
Let me tell you what, I'm not gonna hear the commentators because I'm gonna be there. So
yeah,
I know. I was giving it an example. Like if you're rooting for someone, you're gonna ride the wave of the commentator that's being biased for your fighter. So
right. No, you're right. So, but the reason why I asked that was because of this. So I was traveling back home. I got to go to Puerto Rico. Ooh, it was so fun. But I was on a plane, and so I didn't get to see the fights, live. I had to go back and watch them. And I had heard some of the back and forth and whatever. And so I said, let me just watch this and like really pay attention. And to me, this is my assessment. So Janibek had some great ass feints. His lead hand was strong. His backhand was strong. To me, the reason why Bentley did not get knocked out was because he wasn't going to stand in front of him, and he would take a step back every time Janibek would come, which he should. his offense was good. His offense was very strong. He started gaining confidence in the 6th round and started throwing back. And at the end of the fight, I hear the commentators talking about, oh, well, like they don't know who won. And I'm like, you don't know who won? Yeah. Are you serious? Like, it was very obvious who won. No, Janovic did not knock him out, but that does not mean that he is still not dangerous. And they're like, oh, he's not the boogeyman, or he's not what we thought he was going to be. No, but the guy that he was in there with was very cautious, gave him respect, was taking a step every time Janovic would, which is what we as coaches teach our guys to do. They step, you step. Front, back, side to side. You don't stand in front of them. You know, so whoever his coach was very smart, and he did a great job on not getting knocked out. But he's still dangerous. Janovic is still dangerous. So let somebody think he's not.
Oh yeah, he's dangerous.
And then get in there.
But this is the thing, Christine. Like with that assessment, how do you think he does with a Charlo, with a Munguia, with that the Dominican Adames? How do you think he does with those guys?
I think he did get hit more than necessary, only because he looked at the opponent in front of him and he felt like he was not going to be a threat to him. And sometimes that's not good, because whoever gets in front of you is a threat. So I believe that when he gets up there with the bigger names, and I could be totally wrong, that he's going to be smarter. And especially now that he fought Bentley and he looks back at the fight and how he did get touched a little bit, especially after the 2nd round, I believe that his team is going to be smart enough, and he's going to be smart enough to say, you know what, you can't do that shit anymore. Like, because somebody else is going to knock your ass out.
Right.
You know, but that's my opinion. That's what I believe, you know.
I agree. See, I could see that too. Like you said, because like you said, sometimes people, they said Bentley had never, like the commentators were saying, Bentley had never looked that sharp, you know, until he fought Johnny Beck. He had to be.
Right.
Like like the level of competition.
This was his shot. Yeah, this was his shot at a world title. This was it. This was his shot. He got it. So
remember
he had to.
And Christine, bringing back up Usyk. Remember before Usyk fought AJ the first time, they were like, if he fights AJ like he fought Chisora, he's gonna get stopped. He's not a real heavyweight. Does he have the power? And then 2 fights later, he's a unified champion and defender.
Exactly. You do not fight the same way with everyone that's standing in front of you. You have to adjust. That's why you watch film. That's why you have coaches. That's why you have people on your team. You know, that's why you have someone doing
studying films. Yeah, you got people.
That's why you have sparring partners to mimic exactly what the guy in front of you is going to be doing. Like, you don't just keep the same notebook of plays. You know, I mean, no. I mean, if you do, you're not gonna make it very far.
Like banking on Spence that fought Porter to fight Bud. You know, we can't depend on that. You know, you like the Bud that fought Mean Machine. You can't expect him to show up against Spence. You know,
but you keep saying that. But what did he do after that knockdown? Did he not come?
Let me tell you something. Mean Machine was a tough mother sucker. Let me tell you.
But how did Bud win that fight though?
I forgot. You tell me.
He won it very well.
I don't know.
It was a knockout. It was a knockout. So
every fight at welterweight is a knockout, but you know, Bud did take a knee like Kaepernick, but I ain't trying to start nothing.
Okay, and then he came back and knocked him out.
My boy Bud did take a knee. But,
okay.
But like Christine was saying earlier, that's kind of like the switch that needed to be turned on, because after that,
and guess what? What happened? What happened after that?
Exactly.
What you call a knee? What happened after that? Here comes the beast. Here came the boogeyman. He's like, okay, I got you.
See, the thing with Bud is he's so mean that if you get him angry, that's the thing. I think, and see, Errol's composed. That shit ain't gonna phase Errol. You could be, sorry for cussing, but that stuff ain't gonna phase Errol. You could get him into that mode, and you know, Bud gets angry. Errol just stick to the jab.
You know what? I think it's good to be calm, cool, and collective. I do. I don't think you should fight with anger, but I also feel like you need to be able to switch on that light switch when you need to. So you have to know how to play that. You have to know when to use that light switch and when not to. And where it doesn't affect you emotionally, but there's just something inside of you that says, you know what?
That dog, it's the dog
I'm
switch.
not losing.
The dog
switch. No, I'm not losing.
The dog switch. Turn that dog
exactly. Everybody needs that dog switch for sure. But you know what? So I went back and I watched the Sinisa Estrada fight, you know, with Valerino. And it's so funny because Timothy Bradley was talking about Sinisa didn't have a jab. And I'm like, she's jabbing. She's doing everything. And then he went back and, oh, she is jabbing now. So I think sometimes, you know, these commentators, and not all of them, but they don't even know what to say sometimes. They got the mic and they're like, oh, Sinisa's not known for throwing a jab, or she's not throwing any jab. Really? She just threw like 5 fucking jabs. Like, what are you talking about? So I think a lot of times it's just like a lot of chatter, which is, I don't like that. So I like to just watch it, break it down myself, because to me, Sinisa, she hadn't fought in over a year.
Yeah, she had 11 month layoff.
Yeah. So almost a year. She had her high guard. She was throwing her one time she landed 3 right hands like in a row. Like for Valerino not to like get it the first time and not move, and like then she could hit her 2 more times. Like the girl looked amazing. All her angles, her bunches of punches, you know, and shout out to my guy, Big Surge, my homie. He always does a great job on the cuts. She didn't have any cuts, but he always does a great job in the corner. But you know what? She looked amazing to me. And I think it was Bernardo that said that the scoring was off. It was like 100-90. And I'm like, it wasn't off. Like Valerino, she did not win one round to me.
I didn't give her more than 1 round. And if I did, if it was, it would be
being generous.
Being generous, yeah. But Sinisha's, she lives up to her name. She's really the combination she could put together. The feints, like you said when you described it, her being able to switch, but she does it fluidly, and she doesn't overdo it when she's switching, and she can fight on the inside. She has a good game, period. In the pocket, she uses a nice little flick jab, up jab. So I feel like they don't give her enough credit for the things that she can do.
They don't.
And it's not just that she's a good woman fighter.
This is their first time commentating for her on Top Rank, so maybe they'll start to see a little bit more, because maybe they didn't have enough on her to talk about because they didn't do their research. That's her first fight, you know, fighting for Top Rank. So
hey, what's that guy's name that's on the commentating team with Bradley? Mark?
Bernardo?
No, Kriegel.
Oh, Kriegel, yeah.
The one that gets in the ring?
Yeah.
He said that.
Oh no, that's not Kriegel that gets in the ring.
No, yeah, Kriegel doesn't get in the ring.
Kriegel does like the dad.
Somebody help us.
Loving pieces.
Okay. Well, he got in the ring.
Bernardo or something like that.
No, he got in the ring with Bentley though. Yeah. After the Bentley and Johnny Beck fight, because he called Bentley scared.
Yes, my mind is blank right now. Yes.
He said I see his face. I think he was fighting scared, but he said that Sinisa has a mix of skills that he hasn't seen from a fighter in a long time.
It's true.
He said she could do it all. So he was giving her credit. He was the only one that really
it's true. You know, even when in the later rounds with Valerino, like maybe hit her like 2 or 3 times, Sinisa came back with like 6 shots. She's like, no, like she dug deep. That light switch, that dog light switch, it clicked on and she was on it. She's like, no, this is not going to happen. And I love the fact that at the end, like she's so humble. Like whenever I see her, like whenever I go to, when she used to be with Golden Boy, and when I see her, I'd be like, hey, Sinisa, like, hey, you want to sit here, blah, blah, blah. She didn't even know me from Adam. But you just feel like you know her. And she's so humble. You can go up to her, talk to her. She's so approachable.
She need to keep certain people away from her, like Sulem. Sulem is dragging on her like a fucking piece of gum under her shoe. Stay away from Sulem, girl. That's not you.
You got to talk to me about this. Why this?
She's a bum bitch. That's all I gotta. That's the synopsis of it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Twitter stuff going. You know, she ain't nice.
TV.
So I have a question for you though, Young Bill, because I want to know. I want to know how this went because I saw that you was at the WBA. Was it WBA?
WBC.
Oh, WBC. Yeah. Okay. WBC convention. How was that? Did you see like the schmoozing that like some of the fighters and the managers and promoters do? Like,
it's very political. The game is very political. If you know, it's all about who you know in life. That's all I can say about it. It's all about who you know.
Let me ask you this: did you go to the rankings?
Yes.
You saw what goes on there.
And I went to the mandatory. Yeah, it's like when you go to the rankings, they tell you can get up and speak, and they have the board. They have everybody
My
sitting.
guy needs to be 5. I know he's number 25, but he needs to be 5.
He's
they could just jump people from 25 to 5 like that.
I'm just saying, I'm at the convention, but that's some of the things that goes on. And then if you go to the fancy restaurants around wherever everything's going on, you're gonna see some things.
So were you a part of some of the schmoozing, or you were just like playing by the ear? Like
I was like how when y'all played me that Rick Glazier tape, I was like this.
Yeah, okay. You don't want to be in the mess.
You're like la 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 la.
Yeah, eyes open. I don't see nothing. I ain't say nothing. I just know. Hey, Nike. It was all about who you know. Like people were getting skipped in the rankings, and people that weren't represented were getting like
exactly.
They were getting knocked down all the way, right?
Right.
If you do not have somebody there, you are going to be knocked down. Absolutely. You wonder why people are like from one day to the next, all the way on top. You wonder how is he the mandatory? How is it? Because he had a representative there. His manager was there. Somebody was there representing him. That's how.
Like
who was the fighter you were saying?
Right, Salim. I feel like he got the short end of the stick because he fought Mike Plania, and now he has to fight in the semifinal at 122. He has to fight 2 more fights before he gets to the title. It's crazy to me. They because of the lack of representation, nobody was really there on his behalf. But then you seen like one thing with on like mandatory day, like Alicia Baumgardner, she was represented Tony Harrison, and now he's fighting Fundora. That fight's been ordered. Tony against Fundora.
And why? It's like why?
To his credit, at
jump up and fight Fundora. Like
at least he's the silver champ. You get what I mean? So it was just
it's very political, and that's the thing that people don't understand. That this is a business before anything else.
Facts.
It is. Yeah. It really is. It really is. So
your boy
Montana Love.
Oh, you talking about
the slime? The WWE.
Yeah. What do you got to say about that? What do you got to say about that fight?
You know what?
Yes, boxing and barbecue. Yeah, sorry.
The fight before that, I saw some cracks in Montana Love's game, but I don't know. I feel like he lost his cool about that cut because that I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I just feel like he never been. It looked like it was his first time being cut, and he already told the ref, "I can't see," which means I felt like he was looking for a way out. Then when you tell the ref, "I can't see," usually fighters that want to fight be like, "Yeah, I'm good. I can see," even if they can't. So
and
that
we've seen worse situations than that, where they're like, "Oh no, I'm good." I mean, they got liver and guts hanging out. They have their heart like hanging out on their shoulder. Oh, I'm ready to fight. No, I'm good.
Ugish's eye was terrible against Spence, and he didn't want the fight to be stopped. He was mad the referee stopped the fight, and his eye was over here.
That's what I'm saying.
Like so for me,
exactly what I'm saying.
When Montana was like, "Oh I can't see, my eye is messed up," I said, "Oh man, he's already looking for it."
He was in panic mode.
Right.
Panic mode, and he was frustrated that he got cut, even though it was an orthodox and a southpaw guy. And they both were coming in. I don't think Spark hit him intentional or headbutt him intentionally. They both were throwing a shot at the same time. And Montana Love was because Spark likes to get on the inside. Montana Love was dipping his head a lot too. And I think that's what caused the cut. It was to me, it was just a freak accident that happens in boxing when you got 2 orthodox and a southpaw guy.
Yeah.
But him saying that he didn't mean to toss old boy when he put his head on, like when you watch the replay, the hand was on his neck when dude was falling over.
His arm was up.
Arm was up here on the dude's neck, helping him over the rope. So for me,
you meant to do that, buddy.
yeah, like he had him up here, and then he was one hand was close to the waist, the other hand was on top by the neck, and the guy leaning.
In hindsight, he wished he didn't do it, but in the moment, he knew what he was doing.
He still would have lost. He was losing anyway.
If the ref had stopped the fight right there with the cut, do y'all think he would have lost, like on y'all's card? He would have lost. Because on the official cards it was a draw. He would have. On the official cards after 5, it was a draw.
Yeah, no.
They would have gave him. He would have got a chance to keep his belt. I mean, not to keep his belt, but keep his undefeated record. He just got a draw. But I feel like he did it on purpose. That's my opinion.
He did, yeah.
He put a dude by the neck.
What did you think about that fight?
I didn't watch that fight because it was on like the same time.
Oh, okay.
The top rank cards. So I was like, I was kind of lazy this weekend. I was getting a lot of rest, but I saw like the replays of like the dumb shit he was doing.
Well, so I'll tell you what I think. So I've never been impressed by him. Like he talks, he's all talk, he's showy, whatever, which is fine. It's fine if you're a champ and you can back it up, in my opinion. So to me, Spark, he really, really showed what he was made of and exposed him. Because Spark stood in front of him like the whole time. He could have knocked him out if he could have knocked him out. But he didn't. Because Spark, I mean, he did good. I'm not going to take nothing away from him. But he is not as skilled as some people as I've seen. And he stood right in front of Love. And to me, on the 5th round, Love should have gotten another 8 count. But the ref was, refs do that. Like, homeboy's supposed to win and blah, blah, blah. And whatever. So, he read his notes. And saved him. And then, so when Love goes to the corner, I can't see shit. And I'm looking, I'm a cut woman. And I saw 2 little like drops or whatever. I'm like, man, let's just wipe that shit up. You're going to be fine, And then the doc's like, well, I'm going to watch it and I'm going to see how you do. And he's like, but I can't see. Like, he's like, help me, please. Like, oh my God.
Looking for a way out.
Yeah. Somebody probably told him he was up on the cards and he already knew he didn't have to.
Yeah.
That if it went to the cards, he would have run. So.
Look, I'm talking about as soon as the fight got continued, it took about 20 seconds to him flip dude out the ring. That was ridiculous. Like Christine, I don't know. You've been in boxing a long time.
I was definitely panic mode.
Hey, Christine, you've been in boxing. Do you see that stuff even in sparring at the gym?
No.
When dudes get flipped out the ring?
I've seen it once in 22 years. Once. And it was my son. I'm sure. My son did it. He was a hothead. No, seriously. It does not happen. Like, no, you don't do that. You're losing. You're a sore loser. So you're going to throw him out the ring? Like, seriously? Like, you got disqualified and you deserve to get disqualified. Like, and you lost. I mean, on the scorecards, to me, he lost. There was maybe, if I'm being very generous, maybe 2 rounds he won. Maybe. Yeah. And Sparks was in front of him and he's not a better boxer, supposedly. So I don't know. It was, he definitely was looking for a way out. And I have no respect for that. Like, but I've always been skeptical of him, and like wondering. And Eddie did what he was supposed to do. He's a promoter. That's his guy. He's like, we're gonna go back and we'll get it overturned and this and that. And I respect Eddie. I like it. I've worked with him before. He's a great guy to work for. And he did what he was supposed to do. But no, he lost. And he's probably like, damn, how am I gonna recoup my money? Eddie's probably thinking that, like, shit, I gotta get my money back.
It's gonna be a no contest in Montana. They're like, they made the decision. And he's like,
right.
Right. But when they showed the replay, because the dude fell right in front of Eddie, so when he knocked him over, Eddie was looking like
on his feet. And you know what? Did I hear Claudius say that Spark had not had a real training camp? Was he like a last minute replacement? I didn't hear that. Or
look, you know what's crazy? I got a video of him doing bag work on in Main Street Gym in Houston, and I didn't even expect to bump into him. I was like, what the heck? He was like, hey, mate, what's up, lad? What's up, mate? And I said, man, where you from? He was like, yeah, I'm fighting. He was like, man, I'm fighting my 10-11 in 2 weeks. I was like, what? I swear, I just bumped into him and his people. They was like, yeah, we just looking for a gym in America. And they didn't know. They said it Main Street. I guess they knew Coach Bobby.
Main Street. I love Main Street.
Yeah, where your girl Jiffy
I love J Prince Jim, K Carone, all my guys, Aaron Navarre, like everybody. I have a lot of friends.
Yeah, that's where Aaron at too. Yep. And they was like, we know Aaron from over there. He had a fighter go to Australia.
Yeah.
So that's why they came. But I didn't expect to see him. Yeah. So I don't think he had a real training camp.
Sounds like that. Sounds like a last minute fight.
His training camp was disrupted multiple times.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Because if you're still looking for a gym and you have a fight in 2 weeks,
yeah, he did a couple rounds. They would have
had all that lined up already. Yeah.
But he did a couple rounds, I think, with Regis and Oshaki Foster. You know, so he was just.
I love Oshaki. Yeah, he's gonna come on the show. He's gonna come on the show in a few weeks.
Oh, Shaq. Yeah. Hey, he got that Ray Vargas fight.
Since he was a kid, like since he was a little kid, we used to fight him with my guys. Yeah.
Hey, Chris, I think he has that. His fight is gonna be in January.
Yes, that's what I heard. January. Yep.
They ordered it for January. I mean, they already ordered it. He said, when is it going to be done? They was talking about at the convention. It's going to be in January.
I think, that's when I heard.
I think Q's fighting in January too. He's supposed to come on too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of great guys coming out of Texas.
I knew I was gonna make that face. I knew he was gonna make that face.
Wait, what state you said? I couldn't hear you.
Texas.
Hey, Nike.
She's not.
But
she could say that. But she's still a Bud fan, so it don't matter where you.
No, there are, but you know what? Guess what? People are like, "Oh, are y'all gonna pay for the fight? Oh my gosh, are you gonna order it?"
What, Bud fight?
No, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do better than that. I got my hotel room. I got my airline tickets. That's what I'm gonna do. And it's already almost sold out.
Okay, well, that's good. Y'all can go see. Y'all can go treat Rick Glazier to lunch for me, because I will not be there. Y'all treat y'all bestie Rick Glazier to lunch.
Who is y'all?
Y'all go get y'all go to the Hey, with them tickets on Groupon, y'all can go to the Omaha Zoo too.
You see, that's a little dig that you're doing.
Nah, I ain't.
The tickets on Groupon
with
and stuff like that.
Groupon, I heard the Omaha Zoo is one of the best in the world. I was doing research on what.
I heard it was too.
You know,
I heard it's the best.
But so you know what? This is why, I can't even.
We might
even go back and forth with you guys because you don't stick to the guy that you be rooting for. Because last time we were rooting for Bud.
Hey, Bud should never been Texas.
Both were Bud.
Hey, Bud should have never been Texas. We would have been like this still. We'd have been locked up.
He loves Texas.
And now both of y'all.
He loves Texas.
Hey, he should never came from my home place. Oh, Texas.
He loves Texas.
Remember that little interview he did?
But you know,
Texas Tech.
Yeah, but you saying all this Texas stuff, but there was a period in time that you were correct.
Like that?
He does love Texas.
From Texas, y'all really big Bud fans, okay?
I am a Bud fan. I still am. That's my guy. I just don't understand the movie.
Let me tell you, did you become a Spence fan again because your YouTube page started going off and people know you from Texas?
No,
and you didn't want to get the backlash.
No, look. You know, I started my channel.
So crazy.
It's okay. It's okay.
Hold on.
Come back over.
I knew she was gonna go this way. So look,
no, because it's literally.
Let me break down the timeline.
There'll be two of us here. There'll be two of us.
Look, this what happened.
It was literally him and Correa both campaigning for Bud, and now they both turn on him. So it's like, and they're both from Texas. So I'm just like, come on.
Facts, Monzo. I used to rock with Bud heavy. That's still my guy. But Errol Spence gonna beat him. And Bud Crawford moving funny right now, and I can't ride with that. So, but you know what? I would have went to the Omaha fight, but they ain't got no tickets.
But even after you said the things that you saw with Errol outside the ring, you still going that route?
I don't care about. Look, me and Errol can go to the bar tomorrow if he's not in training camp, and I'm still gonna pick him because he's a monster. Like he's a machine in the ring. He's a machine. That don't affect
I will not take nothing from him. Absolutely.
I know. Look, boxing and Christine know this too. Sweet Pea was on some stuff. Everybody was. Sugar Ray Leonard was a machine, Aaron Pryor. We know what he was doing.
Oh, we're not gonna justify any
Riddick Bowe.
of that stuff. Okay.
I'm just gonna be 100%. Chavez was a monster. 190 wins in a row. Oh, damn near. Mildred Taylor. All them bro, boxing is one of them sports where it is what it is. If Spence is getting in that ring and handling his business, I don't care what he do. I don't care. Just
you care. You kind of care. Before this big fight,
I'm cool. Spence, don't get yourself in the trouble. Them homies that you got, make sure they drive for you. That's it.
No.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Make sure that everybody around you are not yes men.
Let you drive home, champ. When you come
but I feel
from
like with this big fight coming up, you would prefer him not to be doing those things. Let's be real.
He's not gonna do that. He gonna roll with Bud. I mean, when he locked down, like with Ugas.
Oh, you said it right the first time. You said it the first time. He gonna roll with Bud
again. Replay.
When he was in camp for Ugas, my boy Emmanuel Lean was like, I was like, man, how's my boy look? How's Spence looking? He's like, man, he had a birthday, and we asked him what he doing. He said, what you think? Training? I ain't going nowhere. So the whole camp for 12 weeks with Ugas and didn't do nothing. So I just know, like, when he locked in, dad, everybody around, he's good.
That's good. That's good. And you know, like I said, I love him. I root for him. I want him to do what he wants to do and needs to do. I do. But same with Bud. And like I said, they've shown me love. I see how they treat other people. I see how they live. I see everything. And I just, that's just who I pick.
But the sad part is, I don't know if we ever gonna get the fight. So, I mean,
I believe we will. I believe we will. I really do. I believe we will.
Yeah, see, Manzo, that's what he said. He's saying that Bud is moving funny now, so that's why.
Yeah.
Bud moving funny. See, Manzo, I like Bud though. I like Bud. I just feel like he's moving funny. But what happened was people got mad.
Is he moving
the thing is, nobody knows.
He's not going to sit around and wait on this fight. He's going to get the bag for his family and for him. That to me, that's not moving funny. To me, that's a man. That's what a man does.
Yeah, I can't believe that people expect him to just sit around and not make no money.
No,
they decide they want to get the things that he's supposed that he deserves in the fight.
Y'all don't think that Bud played a role in why the negotiation dragged? That's the only issue.
Not by wanting what you're supposed to get. No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, when I hear people talk like that, I feel like those are the kind of people that accept any kind of treatment at work. Like, you're not gonna go in there and get the raise or ask for the raise that you deserve. Like, you just settle for anything.
Right.
Sorry.
Right. Show
not
me.
That girl.
Show me.
Not that girl.
Show me what we're talking about. Like, that's, to me, I would think that's anybody. Like, don't say, okay, we're gonna give you this, but we're not gonna tell you how much we're making. You're getting a percentage, but we're not going to show you this part of it. No, we're gonna like see everything. I want to know what we're talking about. I want to know why I'm signing this contract. I want to know what we're agreeing to. Like, you can't do business like that. And he is so freaking smart. Bud is so damn smart. He's got his hand in so many things, like, to make money. He's not stupid. Like, he's not just going to take anything.
That's the point. So if you're financially secure and you're not stupid,
you're still not gonna, and you're not gonna make sure you're getting fucked over neither. You're not.
And you want this fight so bad, and you want to be undisputed 2 times. And Errol is a drunk.
Y'all would not say that if it was the other way around.
But he didn't say that. He didn't say he didn't really care. He said, you know what? If I'm not undisputed twice, it's okay. Like, it's okay.
See, I don't like that because when he first came up, he was like, the thing that drives me is I want to be undisputed. The thing that drives me is being undisputed at 47.
But these athletes still need to make money and take care of their families. So let's be real.
I get you, Knight, but what I'm saying is with me is that because I used to watch
the thing is, y'all would not demand the same thing from Spence if it was the other way around like that.
Yes. Y'all
would want him to get his 80-20. Y'all, like, come on now.
80-20? Knight, I don't even talk about split. Nike, that's not even true. I don't even talk about splits. I will look if everything.
Maybe not true, but I've seen it. People are like, just putting all the blame on him, and I'm just like, what are y'all not seeing? Like, the man is going there to get his business done. It takes time. It's not working out right now. So in the meantime, I'm gonna make my money over here while we figure this out over here. I I don't see what is the why is that so hard to grasp?
Exactly.
I just don't know.
This the thing. When Spence was saying 70-30, I was on his neck. When Spence was saying, "Oh, you gonna make me 80-20 somebody," I was on his neck. When Spence was saying I wasn't worried about Terrence Crawford, I was on his neck. I always called it down the middle. I was always, when Bud looked like he really wanted to fight and Errol didn't, it was on Errol. Now, when Bud is saying, "Okay, I'm good with it. If I don't fight him, I'm cool," but Errol Spence didn't have a plan B, I don't look at it like that. See, me, I'm looking at it, okay, if Errol Spence is saying, all right, getting criticized for all these years by me, by everybody else, that he needs to fight you to secure his stuff. And you saying Bud was on record on sitting down with Andre Ward, he never had that signature fight, never had that pound for pound fighter that cemented him with the all-time greats when he was talking about Hagler, Hearns. I got the clip. So my thing is, the way I used to push for Bud because of the way he used to talk, now it's like, okay, now that you financially secure and now you feel like, okay, you
so
can
now he should get less than what like a Mikey
I'm not saying he
Garcia
should
got.
get less.
Oh, no,
What I'm saying
Mikey
is, why
Garcia
does the
got
fight
a
not
guarantee
mean as much
money
as
in that fight? Like, come on now that you establishing you making money, let's go ahead and take pennies and do whatever.
No, but
get
the
less
thing
than
like
what
that
they
is
gave
just,
Mikey Garcia against. But come on, like you guys are not thinking, man. I don't know.
We're gonna make more money than Mike.
This is a question for you. It says,
Yeah.
what's the rumors about Spence and back end money? Money? Yeah.
I don't know what he means. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what he means either.
What you shaking your head for, boxing and barbecue? What I said that was wrong.
For me, I just call it down the middle. If Spence was doing this and it was the other way around and he didn't call Bud out after the Ugas fight and really try to make the fight, he was gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? He had been getting it. So for Bud to say this fight is not that important, act like it's not that important when that's all they've been talking about, Bernie, everybody. We gonna stuff him like a turkey. We gonna kill that fella.
Yeah, but right now, if the negotiation is still having kinks and it's not working right now, you still gotta make your money.
Gotta make sense.
At least tell him though, Nike, that he didn't tell him. But he was saying, how you gonna have an audio where you say,
come on now.
He told him that he wanted to fight. Okay, what you saying? He told him he wanted to fight this year. He ain't telling him he was negotiating with BOK Prime. They didn't know. And he told BOK Prime about PBC though. So why you couldn't tell both of them? Why you couldn't be transparent? That's the only thing I'm asking. I ain't saying Bud Crawford don't need to get your money. People make it seem like people are mad at him for getting his money. No, it's the way he went. Shit, we talking about back end money. That's back end Bud, the way he went behind their back.
That's and not we going cool behind your back when you're taking care of your own business. That's not going out behind nobody's
when
back.
You negotiate with somebody and you
when you're negotiating, I'm sorry, but I feel like if things are taking longer than they need to, and they're not at that any point in time, because I've been seeing a lot of reports that they already knew that this fight was not going to happen this year. So why couldn't he? Why is he not allowed to take a fight this year?
I don't mind him taking a fight.
Sure.
Just let them know.
Yeah, you do mind.
No. If Bud would have been like, all right, I've been talking to BOK Prime since June. I'm gonna get this one in. You go get Stanionis in, Spence, and we'll mess around at the top of the year. That's what's up. But that wasn't communicated. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have got the bag, but it wasn't communicated, and I feel like people are looking over that fact.
He said that he told them that he was gonna fight this year. So if they know that their negotiations are not coming to an agreement anytime soon,
so why ask? So this is the thing. Why ask for a revised deal if you're gonna fight this year?
Because they already knew this fight was not gonna happen this year. So negotiations are still allowed. They're not still ongoing.
They asked Bud, "Are you talking to them?" He said no.
I said negotiations can still happen. It doesn't mean that the fight's not gonna happen just because the deal wasn't done this year.
You got Boots for the IBF. You got Thurman for the WBC. You got Stanionis, who just put in a petition to fight Spence. It's 3 guys now that are going to need step aside money. It's like it's more difficult than it could have been.
Well, then they should have came. They should have came correct in the first place. Well, not dragging ass. Not dragging ass. Not dragging ass. What they were expecting is for Bud to just accept anything, because now he doesn't have a promoter and all this stuff like that. That's what they were expecting, in my opinion. And when that didn't happen, the negotiations kind of dragged longer than they would have liked it to.
To me, Bud is making boss moves. He's like saying, I do not need y'all. I'm not going to sit here and wait for y'all. I'm still going to make my money. I'm still going to do what I got to do. I still have my legacy, whether you like it or not. And I'm still going to have everything that I have and take care of my family. I'm still making money. Like,
so my
regardless,
thing is,
like
he
put it back in their face.
Yeah.
Like,
no, so my thing is, if you know that the fight's not going to happen this year, you expect me to just not make no money this year? Like, I have to sit down and just wait until you decided you want to give me the agreement and the money that I deserve. I need to sit here and not do nothing.
Okay.
No answer. Okay. I will just.
That's what I'm saying. He should have told them.
The boxing gloves.
He should have told them. That's all I'm saying.
But he need to tell them what? If the fight wasn't happening this year, if the fight wasn't happening this year, and there was no agreement for the fight to happen this year, he's allowed to negotiate another fight to get his money.
Well, I believe honestly, like there's some things that obviously we don't know, in the public. I believe that it was already talked about, like it's not going to happen. I believe that it was already like, it's not going to happen. So whatever. And so then Bud's like, okay, well, I'm going to do something else. That's what I believe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I believe. But I think the thing that gets me is I had seen that Andre Ward posted something, which I mean he was right on. And then there was a fan on Twitter talking about, well, what about us? He owes us this, they owe us that. That honestly, like in the beginning, yes, boxers need the fans. We gotta buy tickets, we gotta buy pay-per-views, this and that. But then once you get to this level where they both are, not just Bud, I mean Spence too, you get to the point where, you know what? We don't have to like make sure the fans are happy. We're going to make sure that our bank account is fat and our family's happy, right. But they earned the right to be able to make those choices, to be able to say that, and that's my opinion. Like, I don't think either one of them owe us anything. They don't. No. They've earned their stripes.
Bud Crawford is cemented. He's a Hall of Famer. That's not see, Christine, that's not the point. Whoever takes away from his career is obviously, doing a disservice to the sport. Yeah. But I do think for their legacies to be, Bud Crawford is a Hall of Famer first ballot, but to be an all-time great, I think he needed Spence. I think Spence needs Bud to cement his legacy right now too. I think Spence needs Bud.
I agree with you. That fight.
I think Spence needs Bud more than Bud needs him, obviously. But I do think that they both need each other, because having a Spence on Bud's resume, I
agree with that,
is the biggest win that he can have, and vice versa. With Spence, that will put him in the Hall of Fame tomorrow. He cannot fight again and be in the Hall of Fame if he beat Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford's already in the Hall of Fame if he don't fight tomorrow. But people will be like, man, with Bud being undisputed in 2 divisions and beating Spence to do it, and it hasn't been done in the 4-belt era, that will put Bud up there with the greats that he wants to be remembered with. And with Spence, that will put him in the Hall of Fame instantly. So they both get that Hall of Fame guy that it's a 50-50 fight. They both haven't had that, in my opinion. Neither one of them has had a fight where I thought it was 50-50. Neither one of them.
Right. No, I agree with that. I do agree with you. I do. Like, I mean, obviously I dream about it like everybody else. I love to, man, I don't care where I'm at, what I'm doing. I'm going to be there. If it happens, like that's the fight I want to see, for sure. But you know what? We appreciate you so much for coming on. It's been so fun. And if everybody looks down, please subscribe to Young Bill's page. He's got a great show. Like I've watched it a few times, and it's whenever I'm not working, and he does a great job. He really does. Like I'm very proud of you, and I'm very proud that you're a Texan. I'm proud to be a Texan as well.
Hey,
I'm about to break out of
I'm a boxing fan first, and I pick the boxer I want. I don't just like.
But if we being real, Spence is from New York. If you want to be
technical. Yeah, that's true. He is.
That's what he did, though.
You're gonna be technical. He's from New York.
That's true.
Hey, guess what he did though?
I don't care what he did. He's where he's from. He's from New York.
Nike, where you live at?
I don't care what he did. He's from
Where
New
you
York,
live at? You live in Florida? I could have.
I live in Florida now.
Yeah. Munoz, this did not go fast. This is like the longest show we've had. Like we usually go to an hour. It's been an hour, 24 minutes. I know it's just good conversation. and we talked about some good topics. I hope everybody press the like button.
Boxing and barbecue. Are you from Texas? You gotta be from Texas with a name like Boxing and Barbecue, anyways.
Whoa! What
is
that
he? Because he's like, come on, Nike, don't do that. It's probably when I said, oh, because Spencer's from New York, and I said, oh, this Texas talk is giving me hives.
Hey, boxing pound for pound, Jack. That's my guy, man. You know, I don't take nothing personal. Hey, Nike, you know what? If I do go to the fight in Omaha, you know what I mean? You going?
Come on. I already invited her. I got a hotel room.
Yeah.
I have a plane.
You going?
I told her I got a plane. Come on,
If I
girl.
go out there, we got to get the Groupon tickets and go to the zoo. I got to go to the zoo.
He keeps trying to do that little dig.
Nah, I got to go to the zoo.
He is. He's trying to do that little Groupon dig. Yes, he is.
I want to see the zoo. I didn't know they was on Groupon until somebody told me.
Nika, can you please take him to the zoo? I have a hotel room. You come on, you go to the fights, and then you take him. Please, can you please take him to the zoo? He keeps talking about the zoo.
Because he wants to throw in the Groupon thing. That's why.
Nah.
Yes, he does. Because that's what everybody been doing on those boxing.
Nah. Bud is my guy. He's my favorite welterweight. Shout out to Bud Crawford. And
yeah, you bet. If you're gonna go to Omaha, you better go ahead and like.
Hey, I'm gonna get the TV. I'm gonna have a hat on and everything.
Okay. But you better not show it with your boy because I don't think he's a big.
Who's my boy? Oh, nah.
Yeah, I don't think they'll take a liking to him over there.
Oh, no.
He's been talking.
They want to handle. Yeah. No, that's cool. Shout out to Omaha.
For sure. Oh, okay, Crystal. Okay.
And she called him Texas flip flopper. That's
I love it. And we get to meet Crystal live. I'm so happy. I'm so excited about that.
Hey. But shout out to Bud Crawford for real though.
Thank
I just be cool.
Absolutely. So YB, go ahead. Last words. Where can people find you? Even though we got it down here, what's going on with you? Let people subscribe, please.
I'm currently out here in San Antonio for the Robert Garcia, the first promotion card. So that's why I'm in the hotel. But Robert Garcia has a show on Friday. So everybody, if you can, in the Texas area, tune in. I'll try to make it out to the Techport Arena Friday, November 18th. I'm just getting more involved in the gyms and starting to do more like what Christine is doing with the fighters, developing relationships, going to the gyms.
Very nice.
But
you moved quickly with that because I was just like, I remember being, because I had insomnia, so I was up like 3 o'clock in the morning one time and y'all were up debating, and you hadn't had your channel yet, so it's crazy to see how fast it grew. So yeah,
appreciate that, Nike, and appreciate you for supporting, and appreciate Christine for helping me with Troy Osley, Shoo. Being one message away, and like I got you, so she's the real deal. And also just this boxing stuff with Spence and Bud is just trolling. I like both of them, honestly.
Yeah.
We love
it.
We all like both of them.
I love Bud and how good of a father he is to them kids and stuff like that. So I really want Bud to take care of it and do what he does for people in Omaha. Like I really do want him and Spence to, because boxing, man, nobody takes care of them after they're done. So I do want them to retire with their faculties intact, with their money, with everything in hand, and the memories that and they can enjoy their wealth. So shout out to them. And shout out to you, Christine, for what you do in the community and for US team. A lot of people don't know how great you are, how highly my girl Jiffy, Troy, everybody speaks of you that has met you. So I know a lot of people personally that speak so highly of you. And I just appreciate the time. I appreciate you always looking out for me.
I appreciate
you. You gotta keep going far because he's such a good guy. Huh?
No. You are, and I love what you're doing. And like I said, I love your channel. But so I heard that I'm just gonna tell you real quick. So the Robert Garcia gym is reopening in San Antonio, right? Is it this weekend? Are you gonna go to that too? The grand opening, grand opening.
It was actually yesterday.
Oh, was it yesterday? Okay.
Yeah, I missed it by a day, but I got out here this morning.
So Hector Tanahata, is he gonna fight this weekend?
Yeah, he's fighting Friday. He's the main.
Good. Yeah, that's my guy. I've known him since he was a kid too. I like him. I'm glad he's coming back. Okay, that's great.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope so.
HLD said you're a good politician. Yeah, that's what a good politician.
Hey, Nike, man, I'm not. That's just really how I feel. I really like her.
Take him to the zoo, Nike. Take him to the zoo. Okay.
Nike don't F with me.
I didn't say that. No, come on. I'll be playing with you, but I just wanted to know how it switched. That's all I wanted to know.
Hey, I knew she was gonna pull that too. She didn't ski mask up today.
But you lucky I didn't pull up no footage.
She didn't ski mask up today when she really got smoked. She ski mask. He don't show her face. She be like this.
Well, no, but I had to do him like that because come on, like seriously, I had to do him like that.
Come on, Christine, trying to end the. Let me hop off, Christine, because I'm gonna keep talking.
No. The thing is, you're gonna see Nike in the ski mask. You're gonna know it's her because you're gonna see me right behind her. So damn, that's Nike.
Hey, and she'll wear the damn white and referee. She'll wear the damn stripes. Be a ski mask and some stripes.
No, exactly. I had to do him like that because he was a big Spence supporter, and then he went hard for Bud for a while, and then I was like, man, what happened? Now he's back to it. So I have to hit him with that. I'm sorry, but you're lucky I did not pull some of the footage from when you were a big Bud supporter, because I would have.
She almost did. She almost did.
I might still do it. Yeah, not tonight, but I might pull the footage of you being a big Bud supporter. I already told everybody
on my panel that I'm a big Bud supporter. I already told everybody. See me, I don't hide it. I tell everybody Bud is my guy. Like I told everybody, man, I just can't. They like, man, YB. I said, man, I used to rock for Bud. I say that in all my videos too. Like I used to go crazy because Bud my favorite fighter. He's my favorite fighter. So I'm just upset.
He's my favorite fighter for sure.
When you hurt by somebody that you really, really look up to, like I used to look up to Bud. He's that guy. So I'm like, man, I thought I wanted him to crush Errol. Now I'm like, man, Errol want that smoke too. So it's like I used to think Errol didn't want it. Now I'm like, Errol want it. So it's
they both want it. They're boxers. They both want it for sure.
They both want it. So yeah, that's it.
Nika, last words. What you got to say?
Thanks for coming on, Young Bill. We appreciate you taking the time, and your channel is growing. So don't forget the little folks. I really appreciate you coming back to the little folks page. It's crazy how quick his channel grew. It was like I love to see stuff like that because it was so quick. And then thanks to everybody in the chat for tuning in. It's been a good week. I haven't gone off on nobody like that. So that's always a good thing when I don't have to cuss anybody out. But see you guys next week.
All I gotta say is I've always wanted to be like Nika, and I finally have one hater on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, thank you. Finally, I've made it. But good night, everybody. I appreciate you, YB. You were great. Nika, my girl, love you. And like I said, I got a hotel room, girl. Come to Omaha.
All right.
Let's go. And then
we will start trouble with it.
And then if YB goes, you can take him on.
We will start trouble
with
to
the Zoom. Y'all have a good night. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.